Hello there. I'm Nick Markey here, physical therapist at Beach Barbell, now located in TF Fitness and Nutrition Gym here off of Market and Kerr in Wilmington. Today I want to do a quick little talk on stop pissing off your painful body part. What I notice is that a lot of people get really attached to certain exercises, really for no good reason at all. So, like for instance, men tend to feel like they have to do bench press. You know, if you're in a gym, you got to bench press, and yeah, bench press is fun, and it's fun trying to get more weight and all that. But you know, if bench press is causing your shoulder to hurt, then it's okay to not do bench press. You know, if you're not a competitive power lifter, who's really the only sport I would know that I could think off the top of my head that would actually require you to do bench press, you know, for your sport, then why do you need to do a standard bench press? Now that doesn't mean you can't do any pressing motion. You know, for your, let's say your shoulder, you have shoulder pain when you do standard bench press, and you primarily feel it when you get to like the bottom of the bench press, right? When the bar's touching your chest. You know, maybe you know, do partial reps to just shy of that. You know, you can play around with different weights and tempos. So you can, instead of doing just the standard down and up, maybe do a little less weight and you do a really slow, you know, 3 to 5 second down, you know, brief pause, and then back up. You can alter that variable. If no matter what you do, that bench press is still bothering you, maybe you just skip bench press altogether. You know, maybe you find some sort of plate loaded chest press type machine, or you know, like you got the chest press machine where you change the plate, you know, change the weights on the side here, or you get the ones where you put the weights up on yourself and it's basically just going in one motion. Usually there's kind of a lower push, there's sometimes a more inclined push. You know, maybe you do something like that for a while. It's okay to do different exercises, you know, particularly if one is causing you more pain. That doesn't mean I don't think you should stop training. I think that's bad. That's a bad idea. I think you should continue training, but you should find an exercise that isn't pissing off that body part. Okay. You know, another thing to consider is, you know, what is your dosage? So if you think of like an exercise is like a kind of a medicine, right? So let's think bench press is like, let's say ibuprofen or whatever, right? And then incline press is naproxen, and overhead press is Motrin, whatever. You know, different medicines, right? So each one is a different medicine or formulation, okay? And then how much you do is the dosage, right? So I can have 300 milligram ibuprofen, or I can have 800 milligram ibuprofen or whatever. I think that's like prescription strength. Just like in bench press, I can have, you know, a certain amount of weight, and maybe I can do 15 or 20 reps with it or something, right? And then I can do another weight, and maybe I can only do 4 reps with it, right? So there's the dosage, like how big is the weight, right? And then depending on the weight and how strong you are, that's going to change, you know, how many reps you need to do to actually stimulate the muscles. Okay, so you can play around with the dosage as well. So what if you're finding that when you go heavier on bench, that's when your shoulder's bothering you, but then when you're going lighter on bench, the shoulder actually isn't bothering you that much? Well, what if you kept the bench press, and instead you did brain fart, you did more reps, right? So what if instead of going heavier and getting in like those lower rep ranges, what if you did the lighter and you were keeping it in 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 plus rep range, right? And like I said, you could also play around with those different variations, like, you know, you can do, you know, 2-second pause, you can do, you know, Spado press where you kind of just stop just shy of the chest, you know, pause for a brief moment and then back up. You do like the tempo where you're going really slow, you know, 3 to 5 seconds down, and then depending on some tempos will do, you just go right back up, or maybe you do 3 to 5 seconds down and then 3 seconds up, right? So that's going to limit how many reps you can do at that weight. Maybe normally in that weight, when you're just going kind of the standard 1 second or so up and down, you can, let's say, do 15. When you're doing tempos, maybe you're going to do 7 or 8, right? So that's another way to play around with the dose, right? And then kind of keep it tight, okay? You don't want to constantly be changing everything. Then you're not going to have a good idea of what's bothering it more and what's not bothering it as much, right? So for maybe like a 3 to 4 week time period, you're focused on, let's say you're doing the bench press and you're doing 185 because that feels okay in your shoulder, and you're doing a higher rep range, let's say 10 or 12 or something. And then, each week, maybe you're only going up by like 5-pound weight or something, or maybe you're just going up by reps and or sets. Maybe the first week, let's say you're doing 3 sets of 12, and that feels pretty good. And then the next week you do, 3 sets of 14 at the same weight, or maybe 4 sets of 10 at the same weight. Pick one variable to manipulate. If you're feeling the effect, like you're actually feeling like, after I do my bench press, my chest and triceps feel like they just got a workout, right? The muscles feel tired, and maybe you get a little sore in the muscles. I wouldn't say the pain, but you're just sore in the muscles, and you're probably doing good. You're doing good work. When you're dealing with the pain thing, you just want to be tighter with the variables, because sometimes changing too many variables, and then if you hurt more after that, you don't know which one it was. But if you just changed one variable, you're going to have a better idea. So, too long didn't read, TLDR. Stop pissing off your body part, but keep training, okay? The reason why I say this is because a lot of times people they'll get an injured body part and they'll just stop training entirely. Or they'll just keep training and be like, I'll just keep training through the pain, pain is weakness leaving the body, or whatever stupid thing like that. It's like, no, find a move that isn't causing the pain, ideally, and then monitor it, and then slowly progress it, with one variable at a time, so you can have a better control over the situation, okay? And if you can't find a variation that's, feeling okay, like the bench press example, it's okay to do something that's completely different. And sometimes that might be like, I don't do a chest pressing motion. Maybe flies, you're just doing flies for chest and doing isolated shoulder work for a little while. So just some ideas I had. Again, I'm Nick Markey, physical therapist here at Beach Barbell, inside TF Fitness and Nutrition. Reach out to me if you need help with this. Help figuring out what you can do to keep training, keep staying and getting in shape and getting in better shape and staying healthy and strong. One of the best things you can do is lifting weights and training. So reach out to me if you need some help. Peace.